Hey guys, Charlene Adzima here again in frigid Wisconsin. Yeah, it's really cold. My phone says -10. Whoa! Guess we better play some hot tunes, all right? I'm going to get my fiddle and we're going to go back and work on that Johnny Doherty's march with our cuts. And I'm going to introduce to you another kind of use for the cut, and we'll just give it a different name just to differentiate the two. So here we go. Get your fiddles, and let's go back and let me find the tune here. There we go. And so let's go back and see what our cuts are like. Let's remind ourselves what the cuts are like, and they are tricky. Don't be too concerned if you don't get them right away at first. Just keep working at it, and maybe I'll give you a couple other pointers here. So when I was a kid, I always liked to do the cuts kind of more like, I don't know, the way a hammered dulcimer, right, plays, bounces right off the string, right, like that. But I discovered that, like, while that's pretty good, it was very difficult to teach because people would keep, they wouldn't bounce necessarily fast enough, or they'd get all the way down to the fingerboard, or you end up with that sort of situation. So the quicker way I've discovered, at least to get the idea of how quickly it needs to come right across the string to make that little fake note, right, that stop, where we're imitating the pipers who just cannot stop playing their instrument. We try to do like a left hand pizzicato, which is like a plucking. You can use any one of your fingers. I think like the third, you have to use fourth. You've got to get good at fourth, like that. So I'd start out by doing like a really good pizzicato, and then kind of being kind of lame about it, right? Just pet. I also say like pet the kitty. Ooh, that was too hard. I got scratched. Here we go. Here we go. So, and a cut, I'm going to define as something that we use to help with our bowing. It's where we play two notes evenly. Two notes of the same pitch evenly, and we throw a cut in there so we don't have to change bows. Now, there are other ornaments, and I've seen, I can't tell you that there's any standardized notation or standardized language for it, so I'm just going to make it up so that you guys understand what I'm talking about. Here's my definition of what I'm going to call a flick, okay? So you can see it's the same movement as a cut, but they're uneven. The first note is much shorter than the second note. They are the same note, right? Ooh. And you're also doing your very best to not stay too long on the string or push all the way down to the fingerboard, because again, we're just making a little fake note. We're breaking the main note there into two. So we'll have cuts and we'll have flicks. Okay, so let me go back to Johnny Doherty's march, and again, here you can see our map. Ta-da! And I believe when we last did this, we only learned like a little bit of it. And I think we got our A solo in really well, right? And maybe we should learn the rest of it. So let me pull that up here so that I can make sure that I lead you correctly. Ta-da! All right, cool. Here we go. So let's play the whole thing again. First of all, reminding ourselves how the A solo goes. It's A, E, cuts, and then you can add your pickup notes to the next measure, which is D and B, right? So here it is. And that happens 3 times in the A part. Oh yes, so I do remember we did work on the B solo as well, right? The green block. And the green block is, we go from A to third finger on E, which is also A, cut, and that's a low 2 or a G, and an open E as your pickups, okay? Let's go ahead and play the whole thing. go ahead, play your solos, and then we'll start working on the orange and yellow blocks as well as the ending. Here we go. B part. There you go. I put some flicks in there also for good measure to kind of get your ear used to where they might go. All right. So let's work on that orange block. Orange block goes like this. You could think of it as kind of starting on D, keep going up, and you know the next note going up would be A, but let's go back to the E first, and then A. Here we go. Very nice. One more time. And if you wanted to add flicks, if you wanted to add a flick in there, you could. Those quarter notes, those longer notes, are great, but so are these. Ooh, that's nice. So let's see, I have to do a flick with my fourth finger. I flick with either third or fourth if you like. Then definitely fourth. There you go. So that's the orange block, and with a few flicks thrown in. Let's go ahead and grab that yellow block. Now there's two of them. There's kind of the regular one, I guess, and then there's the fancier version. So let's start with the regular one, and we're just gonna go straight down the hill. So it goes G, A, D, B. Maybe I'll say it while I'm not playing it. G, E, D, B, A, G. Of course, the sheet music is available in the supplemental material, so you can check it out there. But if you want to do it all by ear, this is what we're doing now. Here we go. So in a way, it's a G scale, but we're missing the F sharp and the C sharp or C. That's unclear. I'll be perfectly honest with you. It's not clear whether it's a C sharp or a C natural, meaning you could call this tune kind of like an A modal tune. I get the vibe that it's more minor sounding, so like using a C natural. So that suggests to me a Dorian because it has a flatted seventh as well with the G natural. Someday maybe we'll go over scales and we can talk about this and everybody will know what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. One more yellow for me. And how about some flicks on that? What if we did one on that G? Ooh, that wasn't very good. Still not good. There it is. And one on that B. We like to put them in maybe to emphasize a note or something. And since this is a march, I kind of like to give it a real, for lack of a better word, marchy feel. Kind of martial. With that B flick, I do like to use my third finger. I have a habit of doing that, but you can use your second or fourth if you desire. All right. Fancy version of the yellow block sounds like this. And the only thing that changed is instead of starting on that G, we're actually going to start on the E, come back up to the G and play everything normally. And let's see, for flicks. Well, that was way too fancy. I'm not sure I do that at up to speed. So I did put one in on that open E. They do seem to fall a lot on the beats, whether they're on the hard down beats or maybe on the softer up beats, but use that as just a guideline. Experiment. Serious. This is fun stuff. This is fun music. Woo. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You're safe. I can't judge you. I don't even know who you are yet, but we're good. Let's see. So we've done orange, we've done yellow. Now we need to do the ending. Ending goes like this. And you might recognize those first four notes because you remember with the yellow block, right? Now you play those all together and go back to that G because it's so wonderful. And then kind of start playing that thing again. And end with your two A's. All right, we'll do it again. All right, now for some flicks. Let's see. How about on that first G? Maybe on the D? Nice. But that really adds a lot to those A's, doesn't it? That's a lot of fun. Cool. So as with all of the techniques I give you, I highly recommend you using them on whatever tunes you already know. And if any of you guys are Suzuki kids like I have been, I would go and find like something really fun to mess with. I mean, you could go book one, of course. Let's see. But that's a little insane, maybe. I'm sure you can just throw in whatever cuts you think you're pretty good at. So maybe just using your third finger anytime maybe a first finger comes up. That could be kind of a fun game. So what if we did... Yeah. This is easier. Yeah. Ooh. Ah! But that gives us just the right amount of challenge. Make sure you find the right balance of challenge for you so that you don't panic and so it's not too easy. Just the right level of challenge. Okay. So that's everything. Johnny Doherty's March. Let's play through the whole thing. You can play the solos as you wish, as we've done in the past. If you want to work on your orange and yellow and blocks and your ending blocks. If you want to practice your cuts or your flicks. So I'm just going to go for it, and it's up to you. Here we go. Here's the chart again for your pleasure. There you go. So today we finished the tune Johnny Doherty's March, and we practiced our cuts. We learned a little bit about flicks, which I just realized I should mention are not the same thing as like grace notes or appoggiaturas or cacciaturas or any of those other terms that you might use in your classical playing. This is like, it's basically the same thing as a cut, but it's uneven, where the first note is much shorter than the second. Go back and listen to any other great players. I highly recommend like Martin Hayes or Caoimhín Ó Raghallaigh, or of course Johnny Doherty here, Liz Carroll. I'll put them in the comments below here, and go have a listen to them and see if you can find when they do cuts or when they do flicks, and I bet you're going to hear a lot of other stuff you're not quite sure what to call, but we'll get to it. Okay, so stay warm, all the best, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.